Hey there friends! Well, we have already practiced drawing different textures like bark, stones and pine needles. If you missed those videos, you should definitely check them out. But I often see your comments asking, why do my textures look good separately but the whole drawing looks flat? So today I'll show you how to mix these techniques to make any object look truly 3D. And I've also got a special gift for you. So make sure to watch until the end of the video. We'll start with the construction. I won't spend too much time on this part today, but if you're interested, let me know. I can make a separate video about it. As I'm starting to sketch these first lines, I want you to remember one simple thing. Construction isn't just about drawing circles or squares, it's about feeling the object in space. You know, like you're touching it with your eyes before the pencil even hits the paper. I'm keeping my lines very light for now. It's almost like a ghost of a drawing, right? If you press too hard at this stage, it's going to be a nightmare to fix later. Believe me, I've been there. Many beginners try to rush this part because they want to get to the cool shading stuff immediately. But, if the skeleton is crooked, the whole body will look off. So, I'm just carefully checking the proportions here, making sure the neck of our picture is centered and the sides are symmetrical. It takes a bit of focus, but it's honestly quite relaxing once you get into the flow. Okay, almost there. Let's see how it looks now. Actually, notice that I didn't erase the ellipse lines inside the picture. There's a reason for that, and I'll explain it in a bit. Now, let's just separate the horizontal and vertical space behind the picture. Once the construction is done, we can move to the next step, making a flat object look solid. To do this, I'm using simple hatching. It's very important to hatch in the right direction. Well, that's why I kept those lines inside the picture earlier. They show us exactly where the stroke should go. Okay, so let me briefly explain the principle of creating volume. First, we decide which side is light and which is shadow. Then, we add strokes gradually, following the shape of the object. The lines must follow the curve. In the dark areas, we make the hatching denser. Make sure the transitions are smooth to create that rounded feel. Take a look at how the sphere, step by step, is starting to gain some real volume. It's not just a flat circle on the paper anymore, right? Well, it's all about those layers. We are building depth by simply following the curve. The picture I'm drawing is round too, so I'm using the exact same principle here. And just a quick tip. I'm using a hard pencil for light areas and a soft one for shadows. This helps avoid harsh lines and keeps the gradient smooth. Start very lightly and then just add layers. You can even leave the brightest spots completely blank. You see, if you don't understand how to shade a simple sphere or a cube, a complex object will always look broken. By the way, to make it easier for you, I have prepared a free shading guide. You can get it at the end of this lesson. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to grab your copy. I used a basic sphere and cube to show all these techniques and, well, it's the foundation for realism. So scan that code and it's yours. Okay, so back to the lesson. Like I said, I use soft pencil for dark parts, hard pencil for light parts. It's all about that soft gradation. In the shadows, the hatching should be thick and layered. In the light, it should be thin or not there at all. Well, you don't want your drawing to be just one flat shade of gray. To make the shadow deeper, I cross the strokes at different angles. This keeps the round shape from looking flat. And remember, don't rush. Layer by layer. Shading shadows is like developing old film. It has to happen slowly. Patience is your key to success and beautiful drawings. So, let's move on to the next step. Drawing the cast shadow. It also helps to show the volume and separates the object from the surface. For example, take my pencil, see, the sun hits it from above, so the shadow falls on the opposite side. Let me show you using a lighter pencil, so it's easier to follow. There we go. This is the cast shadow from the pencil, and the line right between the pencil and the shadow, that's going to be the darkest part. I'm drawing the shadow in the direction of the surface it's sitting on. I am using denser strokes now, pressing a bit harder on the pencil, and I'll immediately define that contact line where the object touches the shadow. To separate the horizontal plane from the vertical one, I'm changing the direction of my strokes. See? Now it's clear which surface is vertical and which is horizontal. Now, let's make the picture look more realistic. Let's give it an edged look. Imagine it's been sitting on the ground for a long time. The texture of the clay has become rough, with cracks and chips from years of use. I'm going over the surface, adding dots of different sizes, drawing randomly with tiny strokes and scratches. And I want to show some moss growing on it too. I'll just mark it here and there with wavy broken lines. Then I'll soften the lines and dots. On the side away from the sun, the edges will be darker because they're in the shade. It doesn't matter that they're tiny. By softening them and making one edge darker than the other, well, those pores and cracks start to look real. The moss has light and dark sides too, and I'm shading it in a specific direction to show the texture. Now, let's add even more realism. Let's show the texture of the surface under the picture. Let's say it's a stone. It's also uneven with cracks and chips, so I'm marking them with broken lines using a soft pencil. And notice, I'm following the direction of the surface. If I drew vertical lines here, you wouldn't be able to tell it's a horizontal plane. Just like before, I am softening the lines and darkening the deepest spots. And now I'm changing the direction again. Behind the picture, the surface is vertical, so the lines will be vertical too. Well, the drawing is finished. I really hope I was able to inspire you today. Give this video a like and subscribe if you found it interesting. And don't forget to grab your gift. I'll see you in exactly 1 week for our next lesson.